Hey there! Did you ever want to play a game that has a kid in his pajamas traveling into a castle to find his lost friend? But then your friend suddenly turns blonde and you realize you have a thing for blondes, and then you realize you miss your guy friend, and your walking, talking dog, cow, and duck start to question your sanity?
I don't understand what's going on.
Just like everyone who plays this game?
Predictable response.
Silence!
Men without cards are so boring.
Silence!
Baby.
Now that's comedy.
Now I know what you're thinking. RamZaes, why are you talking about this game in 2019? Well, slow down there, Johnny, if that is your real name. When I did my Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2
Part 1.
videos, I didn't realize how many people wanted me to talk about the other games. So I did nothing. But then I went back and decided to play Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Technically the second game in the long-running series with a very, very unique gameplay mechanic. I also want to stress that this game I played after Kingdom Hearts 3. So going into these mechanics was actually a surprise because I really love the mechanics in this game, but that will come later. First, let's see what this Yu-Gi-Oh! Ripoff is all about.
It's time to
Baby.
So the game takes place straight after Kingdom Hearts 1, where Sora, Donald, and Goofy are looking for Riku and Mickey, when all of a sudden, a mysterious figure appears.
The darkness.
They lure them into this place called Castle Oblivion, a strange building where the trio have lost all of their abilities, and the further they go in, the more memories they lose.
Or i.e.
It is a story gimmick to make them introduce some more gameplay features but also keep the same worlds from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Seriously?
And yes, since this is a remake with new graphics, even though this game came out after KH1, Sora has his Kingdom Hearts 2 voice, and it can get really distracting hearing Puberty Boy talking when he looks like he's still in daycare.
Don't be ridiculous.
To reunite with those you hold dear. What's this? A card?
So pretty much Darkness Man
The darkness.
tells us that we may find Riku inside, drawing us in. And here, in a different looking Traverse town, we get the gameplay tutorial. But boy, was it confusing at the start. I'll get into it later on when we have more diverse locations that I can show as backgrounds. But anyway, we complete that, then meet the old Final Fantasy gang, and you will see a running theme with this game. Every world you visit is from KH1, except Tarzan, because oh lordy, copyright freeze, am I right? And when you visit the world, no one knows who you are. But they have that strange sensation. Gee, this anime boy in a onesie, I remember him. This is because that hooded figure created the worlds from Sora's memories. So after making our way through that, we meet Axel,
Hello.
who at this point we haven't met before because this is before KH2.
Who am I?
Oh, my name's Axel. Got it memorized?
Sure.
You have lost sight of the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten that you forgot.
Oh gee golly gee whiz, glad to see the law nonsense was here right from the start.
Don't be ridiculous.
Sorry, I can't remember.
Stop goofing around.
How funny.
How could I ever forget that?
Oh,
It was when I turned into a Heartless. Wait, that happened in a castle?
It was Hollow Bastion, you dunce! God, it's like I was the only one paying attention in that game. It had the easiest story to understand in the whole franchise. Try to remember, Sora.
Why me?
So we then move on to Aladdin World. Gee, that sure is Aladdin. You know, the movie where they wish for Genie's freedom, but he still has the chains on his arms, because that's some nice attention to detail.
Yep.
And then we continue on, where we see Best Evil Girl Luxine. Luxine?
Haven't decided yet.
The game then starts to flash these scenes of a blonde girl drawing, really quite badly, Okay, I'm sorry. Not like I can do it much better. And then we learn her name is Naminé, and the whole point of her is that with the drawings, in this castle she is able to shape people's memories. So Naminé starts to put herself into Sora's mind as he now thinks back and is like, oh yeah, she was there back on the beach with me and Riku and Kairi. Gee, Naminé, are you sure you really want to join in on this?
There was another girl.
What? A girl? Where?
You sicken me.
Then Sora meets Luxine.
Deep in your forgotten her heart.
Do you know her?
And this kind of becomes another running theme in the game. I know Sora is a kid with a deep man voice,
Seriously?
but so many times the bad guys will be like, hey Sora, your memories aren't real, you have true memories deep below. And Sora's like, whoa, no way, please tell me more, Miss Bad Woman, I will believe everything you say. It just gets so frustrating here.
It's true.
But she tells us that your best friend Naminé is trapped in the castle, i.e. pushing Sora to keep going further in, compounding the memory loss and tricking him into believing that she was his friend all along.
And if you're gonna be a baby, then here you go.
Wait, Luxine! Where are you? Don't you dare hide from me!
Gorge!
I think we gotta check Sora into the hospital. We then see Luxine meet up with Axel and, a person whose voice I know from other media way more than here.
How could you be humbled by someone of such limited significance?
He doesn't believe in the power of Sora, because remember, he ain't Super Anime Boy yet, he's just a kid that no one really knows about, and asks to test him with his own creation, a replica Riku.
Well, here we go again.
You be too.
We then get into the Winnie the Pooh's level, and it's a walking simulator? Please, Pooh, I know you're a simple bear, but please, why do they make your levels so bland? I mean, I watched your TV show so much as a kid, your movie should have won an Oscar, just please. Oh no, they killed Pooh! So Clone Wars Riku meets up with Sora and is like, you've forgotten all about me, the real Riku. Remember? This is how Riku talked to you, and the edgy clothes that Riku used to wear. You remember, right? And of course, the gullible kid Sora believes him and is like, bro, do you know how crazy I went in KH1 looking for you? I don't know who this girl Kairi is. But the clone is like, just leave, Sora. I'll protect Naminé. Oh well, there goes Kairi's screen time. We then go to Atlantica, where they don't turn into fish monsters, but then in the Halloween town they did transform, so I'm gonna stop complaining about these minor inconsistencies.
Sorry, old man.
So after defeating Clone Riku again, we then see the head boss of this plan, Marluxia, who is pretty much here with his members, wanting to overthrow the whole organization and become the true evil angry man. He then yells at Vexen for how weak his clone is, who then storms off and tries to fight us himself. This, however, is bad news for the group, as they need Sora for their plans, alive, and need to dispose of the traitor. So Marluxia sends Axel to do it, to prove his loyalty to the secret overthrowing group. And I guess here is a good time to get into the gameplay, as you're probably wondering, what is up with all these cards? So yes, there is no game quite like this, where the whole premise is to build a deck of cards to attack an enemy in an arena. Why are they in an arena? Oh well, because of how the worlds are designed. So each world has a room that is generated by the card you use to open it. For example, you have a card that says only low-level monsters, the next room will then have only that, or you have only treasure, only a shopkeeper, and so on. Now in between these rooms are the actual important ones which don't change. This is where you find the key to then open the final room to exit the world. Now this is interesting in itself because you still get enemies here, but once you touch them, it sends you to a battle screen. Now how it works is pretty much get the higher card number and you win, as your attacks will do more damage when your card trumps theirs. If they are the same number, it's a tie, high, and if it's lower, you get stunned. Trust me, this is incredibly confusing at first, but after a while, you do get a hang of it, and it sort of becomes addicting, as you have to build a deck with the proper attacks to make sure you don't lose each battle. Now, in most situations, you would just pick the higher number cards, but the game is already wise to that, and limits the total number of cards the number adds up to in your deck, which means you need to then mix in smaller number ones. Now, for whatever reason, Goofy and Donald don't fight with you. You're by yourself. Instead, you get these cards with them plus other Disney characters. Yes, this is Disney. And this, in addition to spells and healing items, are what you can use to break up the monotonous whacking stick gameplay.
Yeah.
Then you also get cards that reshuffle your deck, as anytime you use a card for that battle, you lose it. And then once you lose all the cards, you get them back after a delay. So this card just kinda speeds that up, and you really want to use a lot of these cards. Then, in addition to that, you get abilities to mix in with the card gameplay, and the main one being you press triangle and it pulls up the card to the top, and doing it 3 times does a combined attack, meaning the number is all 3 combined. The combinations are quite varied, and you can throw in team cards, magic, healing, and you do the actions one after the other. The important thing to note about this, however, is once you do this, the first card that you used is lost for the whole battle and won't be reshuffled until you win. Oh boy, that was a lot to take in.
Of course.
So hopefully you can see, this isn't your average whacking everything to win game. There's so much strategy to it. I mean, sure, at the beginning I just kept throwing all the cards I had every round to defeat enemies, not caring if I got stunned. But against bosses, this is hard.
Hey.
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 Now I want to also mention this. When you defeat enemies, you get the room cards, sort of like how the older Persona games handed you them. And these are what you use to open up the rooms and dictate what appears in there. But for what it's worth, I really enjoyed this new mechanic and added strategy. It kind of made the enemies easier, but even if it was some big scary boss, as long as your card number is higher, you will do the damage. I also did like the world designs with this cube-like shape and RNG, as it was fun dictating what I wanted the next room to be. Anyway, what I was going to get into leads into the story, and the sudden difficulty spike. So in Twilight Town World, we meet Vexen again, who still wants to kill us for hurting his baby boy clone Riku. Thus we begin the battle, and oh my goodness, you don't know how long I tried to win this with my own horrible strategies, but then something happened. I looked up guides online.
Oh no!
So, in the game, you do learn abilities like eventually you get glide and combos, you know, the things you expect from the other games. These allow the player to customize their gameplay to their liking. However, there is one skill called Sonic Blade, but I'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh no!
So we beat Vexen, and then Axel comes in
Hello!
and brutally burns him to death for being a traitor. Yeah. Disney, am I right?
Of course.
We then make it to our little island tropical home, and after beating the boss, see Naminé literally phase in to replace Kairi, and now Sora believes his memories of Kairi are just of Naminé, not of them both together. He completely has forgotten about Kairi. I mean, that's what happens in half of the future games, so nothing new, eh?
How unprecedented.
However, Naminé herself is not evil, and was being used by Marluxia. She doesn't want to do these things to Sora, and so in comes Axel, who, surprise surprise, was the actual traitor, and helps free Naminé to see what mess she can do against Marluxia. She herself goes to Sora and tells him about Kairi.
I went into your memories and—
Let me explain this. Huh? Plain and simple.
You do realize you're talking about Kingdom Hearts, right? So Riku comes in and is like, "No, Naminé is my waifu, get your own," and battles us. So here is where I put the Sonic Blade plan into action, which I stole from the internet. Oh no. So this ability works when you press triangle of 3 cards from different keys, because yes, that's a thing and actually adds even more strategy to the game. The numbers of them should add up to between 20 and 23. Now by using 3 of these, the combo starts, where every time you press triangle during the prompt, it will dash Sora straight to the enemy, stun locking them, doing massive amount of damage. So all you do, once it's over, is get 3 more cards, cards and repeat. And oh boy, did I repeat this. I mean, there still are some downsides. If you press triangle at the wrong time, it ends the whole thing. Or sometimes the enemy is a bit too far away and Sora just won't reach them. But for 90% of the time, this absolutely destroys every single one of the organization's bosses. And so we go and do that.
What do you mean?
Do you really think I'm just gonna say it? That's too easy. Oh, what to do?
Yeah, I can imagine this affecting a lot of people's kinks when they are growing up.
Of course.
So she reveals how this boy is a clone, and Sora is like, no way, oh my goodness.
Oh, so cute. But behind this little face, you do awful things.
Naminé?
You're so stupid. Don't you get it now?
You know what, I honestly don't think he ever will.
You're stupid.
So Luxine reveals how Naminé made up all his memories and how they wanted to use Sora as their own puppet. But Naminé is like, oh stop, and Sora is like, don't worry, I'm a good boy, I'll still protect you, even if the memories of us together are fake. This angers Luxine because she still can't believe how much of an idiot Sora is sometimes, and after a really tough and hard battle, we somehow win.
Congratulations, Sora!
So Sora is like, don't worry, I'll defeat Marluxia and make everything right, putting a smile on Naminé's face that Sora cares for her, even though it's like fake memories. Then we go to the final world, where I have to note the Cheese Sonic Blade strategy doesn't really work on minions, as it can't really hit the flying enemies, but instead you got this thing called Trinity Limit, where whenever you have Donald, Goofy, and an attack in the 3 cards, it does some crazy combo, and this worked for me for the time being. We then get a cutscene where Axel confronts Marluxia, saying how he only did this to find out the pink hair's traitorous plan, and thus we begin an anime battle between Fire Wheel and definitely not a weapon that inspired another show, but Marluxia uses Naminé as a hostage while Sora suddenly appears. He then literally says, oi, Sora, you just walked in, right? Even though I'm holding a scythe to her head, Axel told me, you know Axel, that guy over there, that he will hurt Naminé and your bowl of vegetable lasagna to get to me. And Sora's like, oi, what did you say, mate? I'ma wreck ya, you cheeky bugger. Seriously, if Sora wasn't an actual kid, oh boy, his actions in this game would be really, really irritating. And so, with great difficulty, we beat Axel, and Axel is like,
Sorry, I would hate to kill the suspense.
Axel!
Sora SMH, you literally did this to yourself.
You're stupid.
We then reach Marluxia and he's like, Naminé, go mind crush Sora. And she's like, no, I won't do it. Sora's like, I'll protect you. Clone Riku then magically appears and is like, no, I'll protect her. That's all I know to do. And so us two battle Marluxia. I mean, just us, we battle him because that's how the gameplay is.
Yep.
And so, after another difficult battle...
Is he God?
Okay.
You could say that.
Now, before the final battle, I just want to say, honestly, I heard so many bad things about this game. How the combat was too confusing and such. But even without my cheese tactics, I still had a lot of fun coming up with the combos myself. Until I found the internet. But despite that, I don't think you'll ever see a game quite like this, at least from a gameplay point of view. And if you can laugh at the dumb, cheesy story and not take it too seriously, honestly, I would recommend trying it out, because it really is something. And so we get the old, this is the final battle, save your progress now. So we go in, and Marluxia transforms into this mech, which is annoyingly off the ground, so I gotta use my old tactics again. But as he's a final boss, Marluxia gets another phase, and through one big final push, using all the skills and knowledge I had in this entire game, we beat him.
What? This is the heart of a hero.
And thus the evil has been defeated. And Naminé puts us into these pods to help us regain our memories and like forget how to use cards, so in Kingdom Hearts 2 it's as if nothing ever happened at all. But Sora and Naminé promise to meet each other and the game ends. Oh boy, what a ride. I mean, it was a bit short. Yeah, I know. There's another half to this game.
What?
So, Riku is here, the real one, not the clone, and you get to play as him. So from the darkness, he somehow finds a way into the basement of the castle, and this takes place during the main story. However, his gameplay is actually quite different. For one, he truly is by himself. There are no magic cards or team cards. Instead, there is this incredibly hard duel thing where you have to put up cards to beat what the enemy has in a time limit, and I really could not care for this gameplay. And no, not because I soft-locked the game by using all the cards I have and it wouldn't reload for me. And no, it's not because Riku doesn't have Sonic Blade. Okay, yeah, maybe it was because of that.
Predictable response.
But after coming from Kingdom Hearts 3 and looking at the overall story, you don't really need to know this side in that much of detail. All you need to know is that Vexen got his data for Clone Riku from this one over here. He battles his inner Ansem demon who is now inside him, and he meets up with this Diz guy who is from Kingdom Hearts 2, and then meets Mickey Mouse in the end. So, yeah. Just a reminder, don't ever take Kingdom Hearts too seriously, okay, kiddos?
Darkness. It's the smell of darkness.
Yep, he can smell darkness, everyone.
The darkness.
Smells good.
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Chic!